Hello everyone. I know there's not many people here just yet. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is my first ever watercolor live stream. And I hope that it goes well because I have never done one of these before. So what I am aiming to do is a watercolor a lot like these. If you follow me on social media, you may have seen these watercolors that I did while on vacation. They came out pretty good, considering that I don't do a lot of watercolors. I did this punk princess series. Like, this was a mistake here. But somebody said they might want to get it anyway, so I saved it. This was the original and this was the finished version. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a watercolor about this size, which means I need to cut my watercolor paper first. I figured I could, I wasn't sure if I should do that on camera, but I figured people might want to see the whole process. So I basically just took one of my, what is this? Well, it's Strathmore watercolor paper. It's 9 by 12 inches. And so I divided that in half twice to get my quarter size mini watercolor shapes. And I've already marked out my lines here. Where'd my pencil go? Let's see. Oh, that's not a pencil. Hang on. Here's me trying to be all organized, and I didn't remember to take my pencil out. Here it is. Let's get the eraser while we're here. I have a feeling we might need it. I got my phone and my charger here because I'm going to need that later for reference. I'm actually going to be working on a watercolor commission, which is the first one I've ever done. There's just a lot of firsts going on today. So thank you for joining me on this journey. Okay, so we've marked out the lines that we're going to cut on, and now we're going to cut them. If I really wanted to be ultra precise, I could get my paper cutter. I have one of those like guillotine paper cutters, but we moved a while ago and I don't know where it is. So we're just going to do this by hand. Sometimes imperfections are okay. They just remind you that it was handmade with love, right? Let's just say that. I just realized this is a different kind of paper than the one I was meaning to use. This is a toothier paper. I think I'll save these for later and quickly cut another 4 pieces with the right kind of paper. But I'll save these for another time maybe. These are good for, oh dear, that was not entirely even. Well, we'll deal with that later. Let me find my other paper. So this is the other paper I like to use, Canson. This is a slightly smoother watercolor paper, and I find that it's better to use when I'm doing a lot of details because the toothier watercolor paper gives it more of a nice texture. But if I'm trying to do a lot of tiny details, as I have been with these, I think maybe a smoother texture is better. So, thankfully, this one already has been labeled with the quarter lines, so I will go ahead and cut that. I'm intermittently going over to my computer screen to check the messages in the chat because unfortunately, my watercolor setup is not very close to my computer, and that is by design because I, well, don't want to get watercolors on my computer. It's very precious to me and brand new. I built it myself. Not something I ever thought I could do, and then I had to, so it all kind of worked out. These are some thumbnails for an upcoming Incredible zine that I'm going to be working on, but right now I need to use my notebook to sketch out some ideas for this watercolor commission. Now this is a pretty cool commission. Somebody requested Anna from Frozen 2 in her new outfit and with the sword that she never really got to use in the movie. So I'm going to have this out for inspiration. And I have to make sure it's a pose that looks good on this tiny size of paper. Hey, Zeke. Zeke is our dachshund. Grouchy little boy. You better be good. I'm going to have to kick you out. Sorry if I'm thumbing this really small. I have a tendency to do really tiny thumbnails when I'm sketching. I think it just helps me to feel like there's less at stake if I mess it up, because then I have lots of room on the page to keep trying. I kind of like this pose, but I worry that a full body pose might not look so good on such a small piece of paper. But I do also want to show off her outfit. Maybe I'll do these sketches in pen just so that people can see a little better. Here we go. Here's my pen. So this is one concept for the pose. Is it even a two-handed sword? I think in the movie it was a broadsword that she held for like 2 seconds. And there was a preview where she held it also, and I'm pretty sure it was a two-handed weapon. Well, that's an interesting pose. I don't know if it's super dynamic. Maybe I should look up some sword references on my phone. That's always a good idea when I'm stuck. Oh, hey! I just had a flash of inspiration. I should do the picture this way. Instead of vertically, I can do it horizontally, and then I can have her sword cutting across most of it and still get a nice close-up of her face. I'm a genius. Thanks, Google. So let me do another quick sketch of that. I think I will go with that and try sketching that one. Let me get this watercolor pad out of my way. This might be a little bit too light for you guys to see because I like to sketch very, very light when I'm doing the initial sketch, because it's not really good for watercolor paper to erase it. Like, you can, but I think it kind of ruins the ability of it to really absorb the paint if you do it too much. So I try to do it very faintly. Here is another thing to remember about watercolors. Don't mix up your watercolor water, which is what this is, with your drinking water, which is what this is. One of the ways to do that is to make sure your drinking water has a lid, so you don't accidentally try to dip your watercolors into it. I have made that mistake many times. And I don't even watercolor that often, so I probably do it like every single time. Hopefully not on live video, but you know, it's all part of the entertainment. Let me move this over here now because I don't need it anymore. Sorry, I'm probably going to be contorting this picture all over the place while I ink it, because that's just how I do. Okay. That is pretty much inked. Now it's time to start watercoloring, which is my favorite part. Let's see, where'd my other watercolor pen get to? Here it is. I like using these Pentel water brushes because you don't need to use water to clean them with. I just do anyway because I'm more accustomed to that and it's just a bit faster, but you don't need to use a cup of water with these. You can just squeeze them and it will clean out the brush on its own. And Ash got me this one in Brazil. It's like a little mini one for super fine details. But I don't know that I'm going to need it today. But I'll keep it here just in cases. Let me get my watercolors out. Now, I will not be watercoloring exclusively with Crayola watercolors. However, I do find that some of their colors, in particular the pink, is so neon bright that my nicer watercolors just don't match up to it. So sometimes I do like to go with the ultra bright neons of Crayola. But most of my watercolors are Winsor Newton, and I use this little portable set here. Here's my palette. Let's see, where can I fit this? Maybe right here. Remember to stay hydrated, kids, and remember, don't mix your watercolor water with your drinking water. Okay, let's get started, shall we? the finished watercolor. I'm trying to hold this so that you can actually see it. Hang on, how about that? There we go. There's only one thing left to do, and that is to sign it. There we go. It is finished. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I would stick around and try to do a little more watercolor, but this is actually somebody's birthday present and they live in Germany, so I need to try to mail this ASAP. And I think I may still be in time to run to the post office and mail it today. So I'm going to try to do that. This will be posted on this will be posted on YouTube because I recorded it. So hopefully anybody who wanted to catch this is getting to watch it now on YouTube. And to everybody who came here live, thank you so much for coming. And I hope I see you at the next live draw. Catch you then.